Today, I am going to attempt the Elden Ring Randomize a bow-only challenge. The rules of this challenge are very simple. Only bows. Nothing more, nothing less. Except crossbows. Crossbows are good. The very first hurdle of this challenge was obviously getting a bow. In my randomize, I had two classes that started with a bow. One had a very normal, probably decent bow. The other had a piece of shit loot bow with no scalings and no bitches. Of course, I chose the loot bow. With my bow equipped, I tackled the very first boss, who I proceeded to tickle with damage so low I might as well start peeing on his shoes for emotional damage. After taking my life for dishonoring my bowsman ancestors, I entered the beautiful world of 20 FPS Ring. Regarding the challenge of getting a bow, I wish I was joking, but I spent around 4 to 5 hours over 2 streams just looking for a better bow. What did I find? The fucking magic crossbow. No scaling and okay, damage, I guess. Spoiler, get used to this crossbow. After finally making my way through the perilous lands, I managed to sneak into Radahn's castle. Though Radahn suddenly looked a lot more seductive. It doesn't take long for us to delete Rennala. It could have been quicker if I didn't sneak a look or two at her dogs. And this was our first demigod slain. Now after taking on Rennala, I wanted to see who was gonna be Rennala randomized now. I proceeded to sneak into the academy. And this is where I learned one valuable lesson. Bows suck, at least against NPCs. It's nigh impossible to hit them if they aren't stuck in an animation. They dodge every bolt and every arrow you try to stick up their butts. And who was the first boss in the academy? Fierce Champions. Guess who I didn't beat? Fierce Champions. That's not one demigod we can't officially beat. Ah well, we still have enough. After literally exploring the entire map, including the plateau, it's now time to challenge the Fell Omen, who in this case is the spectral version of Godfrey. This proved to be a pretty easy fight. Ranged attacks mostly trigger his dash and stomp attack, which is stupidly easy to dodge, and the rest of his attacks were not worth noting either. After humiliating Ghostfrey, it was time to move on to his alleged son, Godric. In this case, the Beast Clergyman. Now, I gotta be real honest, this was a bit of a struggle. As someone who cheesed his first Elden Ring playthrough with the Sword of Night and Flame, I knew next to nothing about any boss patterns after Radahn. He's got some very tricky, fast attacks, as well as for my underleveled ass high damage. My pea shooter mostly just annoyed him. I straight up hate this boss so much. I think he's just gonna go, yeah, he's just gonna go around. He's just gonna, Well. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Almost lost it there for a moment. Ah, we did it. Okay, that was a lot of focus there. 2 demigods done. Now the only 2 options, at least to my knowledge, were Rennala and Snake. And your only option is to like and subscribe, please. It helps me out. Rennala was a no-go. I'm sure with time I could have done it, but my lord, seeing 90% of my arrows just getting sidestepped or rolled, I was determined to just fight the snake instead. I took up the journey to Volcano Manor, dipped my tootsies into the lava and got into my first boss fight of this area, which was Godric. Not gonna lie, I didn't really have the highest damage, but I was already so overleveled that he barely tickled me. And together with the bird bolts, which caused bleeding, this was over easy first try. The real challenge, however, came after Godric. It was Margit. Just kidding, he went down pretty easy. However, after this, it was time to beat the real version of Godfrey. This fight was very tough to say the least, maybe even the hardest one of this challenge. My bow barely did 140 damage per bolt, which sometimes would just slide between his armpits or his sweaty balls and completely miss. He did have a very similar pattern to his ghost version, which helped quite a lot, but he still managed to catch me off guard a lot, especially with his not quite second face, but sort of second face. What? What? Bullshit. Bullshit on that one, Grandpa. Grandpa, that was bullshit. Oh, shit. I think we got now less arrows than we had the last time we fought him. Because he keeps dodging them in such a weird way. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but he just barely missed me. Sayonara, bitch! That was a dick shot! Let's fucking go! We shot him in the dick! After annihilating Godfrey's cock and balls, I finally had all the runes to enter the capital. By the way, I did not activate a single one of those runes until pretty much the last bit. I sort of forgot. The capital was guarded by a gargoyle, who proceeded to take his life after witnessing what I can do to someone's balls with my god bow. As always, inside the capital, I proceeded to loot run through the entirety of it to get a chance of fighting an actual good bow. Many more hours wasted. And this is where I had the biggest roadblock so far. The Fire Giant. His first phase ain't exactly the hardest, and the second phase we obviously didn't have to fight. But trust me when I say it's a bit hard to predict any attacks when half of his body ain't even inside the arena. It took many tries, but in the end, the Fire Giant was no more. Talking about hard fights, this upcoming fight was the absolutely hardest fight I did in this entire randomizer. Anyway, after getting denied by the tree, we decided to get some highly advanced axe body spray and a lighter to burn it down. The lighter being our wife Melina. Nothing really stood in our way to the top of the land of the giants. Mostly because I ran away from everything. Either way, we made it safely to the top to greet Renala again? This time her second face. She really couldn't get enough of the suave Joe Bandit voice. Not gonna lie, she was a bit of trouble. Not only because my game kept crashing a lot, but also because she kept summoning annoying enemies. Some of which were the Bloodhound dude, a goddamn dragon, and puppies. Not only that, but after defeating her, I actually got killed in a cutscene. Forget about this. Oh, fuck. What? 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 After beating her again, I got greeted by Niall, who was not even close to being a challenge. He just slow walked towards me like some edgy invader, while I kept a safe distance and peppered him with spitballs. He also had a little bit of trouble with rocks. After frying Melina like a nice strip of bacon, we wake up in Laputa. In the randomizer, the late game areas are usually a joke, since there's a lot of enemies from lower level regions, with the occasional enemy that is actually supposed to be in this region. Equally underwhelming was the boss of this area, one of the earlier Dragonkin soldiers you actually find. Even with my shitty +7 bow, he pretty much got deleted in a few shots. Waking up in the consequence of my actions, I got to the 5th last fight of this game. Loretta the All-Knowing. And my lord, she was all-knowing in ways to beat my ass. My lack of damage versus her opposite lack of damage, as well as the amount of the abilities she can spam, she deleted me quite a few times. But in the end, I reign superior. The next fight, however, was what really got me worried. Mog. Not the actual Mog, but the other Mog. It's complicated. Either way, he was tough enough for me to die quite a lot to. His attacks are weirdly delayed, even worse than Margit's, and his blood magic was annoying to deal with. But after getting used to it for a bit by bit, it wasn't all that much. I was really worried the second phase was gonna be something nigh impossible, like Melania's second phase, or even the Elden Beast. But nope. We got Lizard. Now we get to the very finale of the randomizer playthrough. And not only that, we also get greeted by an old friend we met literally quite a few minutes ago. Loretta got pissed that we beat the shit out of her, so her ghost came back to play. However, in her spectral version, she forgot quite a lot of moves, which made this fight piss easy. But now, the real last boss fight begins. What do you think the final boss is gonna be? Comment your guess. There's quite a lot we haven't seen. The Elden Beast, Radahn, the real Mog, and worst of all, the Soldier of Godric. I didn't even want to think about the last option. But instead, we got Malekith. Honest to God, together with the aforementioned bosses, this really was a good choice for a last fight. Malekith is possibly one of the most challenging bosses in the game, if it weren't for the fact that he's quite squishy and his health is already at health. This wasn't the case for this fight. I don't think I need to tell you about my damage here. Incredibly subpar, but manageable. And he was at full health. We really got a last good challenge here. Will I win this battle, or shall the title of Elden Lord never be mine? You were there for a long time, though. Oh no, he's there. Ah, yeah, I figured. God, I wish I could still hit him when he's like fading away. That is legally the final fight. Alright, I found the tactic. I found the strat. Oh shit, he didn't do that attack before. I was kind of surprised at that. Woo. Woo. Man, Malekith is so easy. He's like actually so easy. He's gonna be dead in a second, chat. Take one last good look at this little lad, because with the next 1 or 2 arrows, he's gonna be gone. And bravado. We did it! We beat Elden Ring! And we got a smithing stone 8! In the end, it really wasn't the hardest fight. He was missing his pillars to do some of his attacks, and after knowing how to dodge his anime 1000 slash attack, I got through it with relative ease. And thus, the title of Elden Lord, as well as bow only plus randomizer winner, shall be claimed by the Joe Bandit. After beating the game, I gotta be real honest. I think the randomizer was fun, but also really unlucky for me. There's quite a few neat bow options, and I've got none of them. Not a single one of them. We found the Arbalest at some point, which actually was worse than my magic crossbow. So I pretty much used the same magic crossbow from close to the start to finish, which was a tad bit boring. I wish I would have had some variety of bows to try out. Nevertheless, this was a great challenge to stream, and I hope to do more of this real soon. Thank you everybody for watching. Bye, nerds.